Hey friend, if you're just starting out with watercolor, or maybe you want to branch out and you need some new, fresh tutorials, different techniques, different eyes for things, in this video, I'm going to cover the best watercolor channels on YouTube that you should all be subscribed to. These are my favorite. And obviously there's bajillions. There are so many amazingly talented watercolor teachers on YouTube. Some I probably haven't even discovered yet, and some that just didn't make the list because we had to make it short and sweet. But that doesn't mean that there aren't other amazing ones besides this list out there. These are just my top favorite ones, but also we'll give you a lot of variety. Some are more loose style, some are really hyper realistic style watercolor, some landscape artists, some non-landscape artists. So we've got a good variety here, and here is my list. Okay, one of my all-time favorite channels, and I have to smile every time I talk about this person. His name is Paul Clark. And if you haven't seen his videos, Paul, if you're watching this, I love you so much. You are my soul mate. Sorry, John. No, he's so funny, but also one of the most talented landscape, especially his water scenes. He has a lot of like canoe and boats in water landscapes. His landscapes are amazing. The way he does water is amazing. I absolutely love his personality. He's like major dad joke vibes. But his tutorials are very in-depth, cover a lot of great technique and eye-opening stuff about landscapes. So I highly recommend checking out Paul Clark's YouTube channel. Love it. Next, one of my other favorites for hyper-realistic style watercolor is Louise DeMasi. I hope I'm saying these names right. But she actually was a part of the watercolor summit with me that I taught in like a series of watercolor classes, online classes called Watercolor Summit. She had a realistic, I don't remember what her tutorial was, but she has a lot of pet portraits, flowers even. Her pet portraits are mind-blowing. The way she does hair and feathers is incredible. So if you're wanting to get better at really realistic style watercolor, specifically with animals, highly recommend checking out her tutorials. She also has a lot of really hyper-realistic style florals on there as well. So check out her channel for really realistic stuff, really realistic stuff. And the hair, the fur, if you want to paint animals, and then also flowers. And another good channel, throwing in this one as a little bonus, but another good channel for like the hyper-realistic or photorealistic style watercolor is also Anna Mason. She has mini courses on like water droplets on fruit or water droplets on flowers, and really detailed realistic flowers and fruit mostly is what she covers. So two really good hyper-realistic channels. Louise's style is a bit more portrait style. So she has like the blurry background, washy blurry backgrounds in a lot of hers. And she does throw in a lot of interesting techniques like salt in a lot of her videos. So it's slightly different, but still kind of in that same realistic vein, if you will. So if realism isn't your thing, or maybe it's like, whoa, that seems too daunting and challenging for me, these next two channels I really love, starting with Mako. She's been on my channel actually before. We did a little interview and I went on her channel once before as well. But she has a lot of really good specific technique videos, along with landscapes, florals, and her style is a little bit more loose, kind of similar to mine, different but similar. So her tutorials are super fun, quirky, quick, bite-sized tutorials. You can find anything from donuts and lollipops to landscapes and flowers. So I highly recommend checking out her channel. So another channel that I'm gonna shout out in this video is a name that I definitely don't know how to say, but it's Niani. If you're watching this video, so sorry. Neon, we'll link it below so you can just click on it. But so her style is in the more looser range, but I love her color choices are very different than me or even Mako. A little bit more like woodlandy, muted vibes, organic color palettes, but she covers a lot of different critters, flowers, scenery. So she has a lot of good different topics that I haven't covered on my channel before, and I don't think I've seen Mako cover them. So just kind of switch it up if you want some more like little cute scenes like a bookshelf or the coffee cup and stuff like that. She's got a lot of really good tutorials on her channel and just a different spin. She's got different colors, different tutorials. So if you want to check her out, highly recommend. I've been loving her videos. I just recently got into her channel this year, so definitely recommend. So there are my top recommendations for watercolor YouTube channels to check out. I wanted to throw in also my channel into this list, a little shameless plug, but if you do come to my channel, maybe you randomly stumbled upon this video in search or whatever. If you do come to my channel, you'll find a lot of technical videos, a lot of deep dives in watercolor. We've got a complete beginner's guide to watercolor, but then I also cover everything from landscapes, realistic and loose landscapes, abstract paintings, to realistic florals and loose style florals and everything in between. So make sure you come on over and check it out and subscribe to my channel so you can always be up to date with our 2 new tutorials that we post every single week. If you loved this video, or maybe you have other recommendations for channels that you've been loving, drop them in the comments. I would love to check them out, and I'm sure other commenters and readers would love to check them out as well. Make sure you go and check out every single channel that we mentioned because, again, they're amazing. And make sure to subscribe to these channels and show them some love. This means a whole lot to YouTubers. There's so many channels out there in this world, and we put in so much work to record and edit and actually film these tutorials, and I know that all the teachers that I just mentioned put in a lot of work and effort into all of their videos. So make sure you go check out their channel, not just check it out though, but actually hit subscribe for all of these people's channels, because I know that they would appreciate it, and they do some good work. Thanks again for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.